In this video, I want to talk about the justification for my hatred of humanity. Um, there are many things I've spoken about. People in power and many different individuals who have abused their power and who have made I think very immoral choices. Now, I have myself made extremely evil choices, you could say, but not in the same sort of cruel ways that these people have. I have not made cruel choices. I have made evil choices, but I've not made cruel choices in my life. And cruel ones are of a particularly disgusting nature, in my opinion. And it's my reason for justifying the coming of the beast and the annihilation of the entire human population. It's my justification for any degree of necessary evil you could possibly imagine, no matter how extreme. And not it's not that I condone it, and I can't legally say that I condone it anyway, but it's not that I condone it, but it's that I am accepting of it and appreciative of it, because I think that sometimes it's fine, it's good to do necessary evil things, because it prevents future suffering and future evil. And to get into the specifics, I some time ago, and I'll be vague about it. You know, I pleaded with let's say agencies, to do something about a particular naysayer, and because their priorities were in line with money and in their opinion more important things, they decided to allow the deaths of many people. They indirectly and willfully, um, I would almost say ignorantly, very ignorantly, chose to murder, in a way, indirectly murder many people. They indirectly, fully well, knowingly, indirectly murdered many people, and people are continuing to die because of their negligence and their deceptive, greedy, sociopathic nature. And it's because of this. It's because of their repugnant decisions that I have developed a very deep hatred for the human race, and it's why that I'm doing everything in my power to bring forth the beast, and bring forth absolute annihilation upon all of humanity as a whole. It's why I'm getting into politics, and it's why I'm doing everything in my power to influence the powers that be to bring forth a nuclear war or something far worse, hopefully. Far worse, but yet better in my eyes. And one could say that, that my desires are evil and they're not necessary evil. But I would greatly, deeply beg to differ, because I think it's all depending on the person's emotions. Someone that's sociopathic could have their child murdered in front of them, and they would not care. They would, probably just go to lunch somewhere and just eat, after something like that happening. They wouldn't care. But then someone who's highly, empathic, a super empath, could see their child murdered and then give up on life. So it depends on the person. And I would say that my particular experiences were difficult for anybody, but I myself in particular, am an extremely passionate person. I am an extremely emotional and vengeful and passionate person, and I'm willing to go to very extreme degrees in order to get what I want, to change what I want changed. And the fact that this, let's say, agency multiple agencies did what they did in the name of greed and research and just simple negligent, ignorant, repugnant behavior. Because of that, they are now my sworn arch enemy in this world. And I would prefer fighting these occultist uh, animals, myself, but it's not realistic, and there's just a lot of moral issues to do with fighting and other things. And so for that reason, I've quietly sat sat beside myself, sulking in deep bitter hatred and rage and dark necessary evil desires and dark motivations, and one could say that I'm insane, or I'm compromised, or what's the word, I guess depressed, or whatever the word is. But I would say that I am intellectually, I'm intelligently changed by these circumstances, by these issues that have occurred. I would say that I'm more than distressed and perhaps insane. I would say that I'm intelligently changed, and I've adapted. I would say that I've also adapted to these situations, to the environment, because of these particularly upsetting things that have occurred, that were not dealt with properly, or really at all. And so, with that being said, I think that my justifications are perfectly reasonable. I think any person would agree that my feelings are reasonable. Perhaps my desires, my dark motivations, some might consider to be extremely evil, perhaps even monstrous in their nature.